Maniac game review. Maniac game review. Maniac game review. Giving off nostalgia. Retro power.
Hello, beat 'em up fans. It's been over a month now since the last information was revealed for Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Now, normally I would wait for some new information to come out before I would continue speculating, but when Tribute Games himself is saying, don't stop speculating, well, here we go. So with Silver Surfer and Beta Ray Bill being the latest cosmic additions to the roster, I thought, what other cosmic characters could they include? Silver Surfer, Beta Ray Bill, and Nova are all members of a team called the Annihilators. If I had to include another character from this group, it would have to be Gladiator. I was first introduced to this character way back in the 90s while I was watching the original X-Men cartoon. There's an episode where Juggernaut is causing all kinds of problems for the X-Men, and then this character randomly shows up. Juggernaut, confused to who this new guy is, walks up to him and gives him a hard punch to the gut. Gladiator is unfazed, he doesn't even flinch. In response, Gladiator grabs Juggernaut, spinning him around in the air and then tossing him miles away. So Gladiator is kind of like Marvel's answer to Superman, even possessing very similar powers, like the ability to fly, superhuman strength, speed. He can even do a wind breath attack, and he can choose to chill the breath to freeze things in place. He can also shoot energy beams from his eyes to take out his enemies. Yeah, Gladiator is ridiculously powerful. Speaking of powerful characters, this next character I kind of mentioned briefly in my first speculation video. Now I know a lot of you are asking for Cyclops as another X-Men rep, but I kind of think we need more female representation, which is why this female X-Men, who also could be considered cosmic, is a perfect pick. Of course, I'm referring to Jean Grey. Now, Jean Grey on her own, just using her psychic abilities, is a force to be reckoned with. Some considering her on par or even past the power capability of Charles Xavier. I would imagine her in a beat-em-up scenario to be using psychic barriers and a lot of telekinesis, causing herself to fly around and enhancing her punches and kicks with psychic power, moving things with her mind, lifting up enemies and slamming them down. Now you throw the Phoenix Force on top of that, maybe making her specials different from other characters on the roster, where instead of a move that's used and then it's done, it's more of an activation bar where you have a time limit to do extra damage, change your attacks up, and light enemies on fire. Okay, so in my last speculation video, Marvel kind of kicked around the idea to the developers that they wanted them to represent the different Marvel families as far as picking characters to join the roster. So I kind of made a list of these categories to help me link characters to certain families. And when I revealed Fang as a rep for the Fantastic Four, I'd also mentioned that I kind of secretly wanted a cameo from Lockjaw, who would maybe represent the Inhumans in like the background of the stage. One of the stages revealed in the game is the blue side of the moon, which was not only territory for ancient Skrull and Kree, but was later inhabited by the Inhumans. Starting off with the king himself, we have Black Bolt. To me, Black Bolt is kind of a wild, insane character. I remember him appearing in Thing number 3 and a Marvel 2-for-1. Now, it's been a while since I've read those comics, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the tuning fork protruding from Black Bolt's head helps him regulate his abilities. He can use it to control particle generation, which helps him manipulate electrons, and in turn, it enhances his physical abilities. He's able to create force fields or produce energy-based attacks or effects, but probably his most impressive weapon in his arsenal would have to be his speech. To put it into perspective, he once took out Gladiator with a whisper. The sonic energy from his voice is so powerful that one word could end most battles. If he were to ever scream out with full force, it would be so catastrophic that it could wipe out an entire solar system. Now obviously that's a little overpowered, and he'd definitely have to be toned down for this beat-em-up, but it would be really cool to have his main special attack be where he utters a single word and it obliterates all the enemies on screen. And despite Black Bolt being the #1 Inhuman you don't want to mess with, a king is only as good as his queen. That's right, it's Medusa. Now besides her obvious main ability, she also possesses superhuman strength, enhanced reflexes, and greater endurance. But where Medusa really shines is in her hair, when she doesn't forget her shampoo. Her prehensile hair strands are tougher than steel, and then with psychokinetic energy, She can manipulate her hair as if it was an extra appendage, transforming the strands into all manner of things, including tentacles, blades, and shields. She can walk with her hair, run with her hair, vault herself into the sky, swing from buildings, and grapple just about anything, trapping it in place. The only obstacle I can see for her not being in the game is she's kind of an animator's nightmare, or an animator's dream come true from a certain perspective. But if Tribute Games managed to make Venom look as good as he does, then I'm sure they would do an amazing job with Medusa. Okay, before we leave the blue part of the moon, I want to double down on an idea I had, being that Ronan the Accuser and Super Skrull were bosses. And going along with the idea that some of the characters are bosses you have to beat in story mode first, and to unlock them, it really makes sense because these two characters are prominent figures in the Annihilation comic. Plus, I wanted an excuse to redo their pixel art in A-Sprite. I feel like I'm getting better, guys. And to finally wrap this video up, I want to talk about two more characters that I would love to see included. If the game truly wants to represent the mystic or supernatural category, then this guy's a must. The Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange. I'm curious to see how the developers would represent all his different spells and mystic arts. And how would they handle his dimensional portal ability? So this last character I had shown off before in an earlier video. The only reason why I'm showing him again is because I'm really biased and really want him in the game. Yeah, that's Man-Thing. He's awesome. Well, that's going to do it for all the speculation in this video. I'll probably do another one once we get some more information. But as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and we'll see you next time.